Okay, back from the break. In dealing with the history of Celtic music, I must say that the word Celtic is sometimes a little bit controversial with musicians, whether they be Irish musicians or Scottish musicians. The word Celtic music comes from the Celts, the race of people that lived in the areas that are now called Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Cornwall, and even the north of France, the area of Brittany. Most musicians like to call their music where they came from. So if you're an Irish musician, you called it Irish music. If you're a Scottish musician, it's Scottish music. But as a general term, these days the term Celtic music, is like an umbrella for it all. When I was growing up in the Dan O'Connell Hotel, when all the Irish music was happening, some of the great musicians and even some friends played there regularly. I grew up listening to them. People like the Bushwhackers, people like Tony Lavin, you have Declan Atherley, and you have people like Danny Spooner, who I remember fondly when I was growing up. These musicians really put Irish music on the map. The Prickly Bush Folk Club were fantastic, and it was a real family from the mid-60s right and up until Dad retired in 1976. Getting back onto the actual technique of drums to play this music, I've found rudiments such as the double paradiddle invaluable. Right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. This little solo I'm playing now is based on that, and I'm humming dum-da-diddly dum-da-day, dum-da-diddly dum-da-day, and hope you can hear it. Let's talk about some of the main exponents of Celtic music. You can't really even start a conversation about this wonderful music without mentioning the Dubliners. You could call them living treasures. They've been around for decades and they are much loved. Anything you hear, valid, it's part of Celtic history, in particular Irish music history. In the 1980s, the band Quinlan came to the fore. Probably their biggest hit and most well-known song is the theme to Harry's Game, which was a very hard-hitting film in the 1980s, and they were fantastic. Enya was one of the ladies in Quinlan who went on to create a pretty big solo career with Sail Away and her big hit there. And more recently, the tradition of Celtic music has been carried on with the young Dubliners, the Dropkick Murphys, Flogging Molly, and I myself am an absolute Jethro Tull tragic, unashamed lover of that wonderful band, and albeit they're more Scottish, but Ian Anderson and one of my favourite drummers of all time, Barrymore Barlow, who was the drummer for Jethro Tull during the 1970s, just some of the music was absolutely amazing. So that's a little bit of the history as far as Celtic music. If we bring it to Australia, I've already mentioned the Bushwhackers have been very famous, and I've mentioned some of the names earlier. Please check them all out.